All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are back at it. Things are occurring very fast in Iran. And I think the president may have very well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, had his fill. I think the rim has filled to the brim. Check this out. This is going to be a barn burner.
Fox News alert, CENTCOM confirming that the U.S. military conducted a new series of powerful airstrikes on Iran for attacking commercial shipping. Let's go to Mark Meredith in Turkey. Mark?
Greg, good morning to you. The president is at his hotel for the evening. It's now after midnight, but the latest news we are getting is from U.S. Central Command that they are launching new strikes against Iran, basically in retaliation after Iran had launched 3 different attacks on ships that were transiting the Strait of Hormuz. These were commercial ships as they are trying to get oil, natural gas out of that water in the Persian Gulf into the Gulf of Oman. But the Strait, of course, has been the center point for so much of what's happened since early February, where President Trump said it was imperative that ships would be allowed to move in and out of that area freely. Iran, of course, had contested that, saying that they were going to be the ones deciding who was going to be able to move through that water.
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you something right now. And right now, there's every channel on this platform and a couple of others is going to tell you one of 2 stories. Either we just crushed Iran and this is over, or this is the start of World War III because we've just launched more airstrikes. I believe both are wrong, and I can prove it. I spent 20 years on U.S. Navy submarines. I've operated right here. I have operated right there in the Gulf of Oman. And what I see is, when I look at what CENTCOM struck tonight, what they and what they didn't, more importantly, I see a completely different war than the one cable news is describing. It's not happening in the air, ladies and gentlemen. It's the water. Sure, the airstrikes are going to disable some things, some radar stations, some missile facilities, things like that. But the real action is in the water, and it's happening underwater. By the end of this stream, I think you'll know more about what's actually going on in that strait than the generals they put on TV. And drop a flag in the comments if you love America. Also, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And there's a lot of sailors out there right now that could use your prayers. But I'll say this. Iran can't close this. They cannot close. They have no navy. They can be annoying. They can be pestersome. They can be a nuisance, but they can't close this. They are, if anybody tells you Iran can close this, ask them how. And I want them to describe how they close it.
Way. Now, we don't know whether or not these strikes are completed or if they are going to be ongoing. Iranian state media was reporting a series of explosions in southern Iran, but we'll be looking to get more details from what Central Command has to say or the president's own comments while he's here in Turkey. And I will mention, Greg, oil prices already jumping on the news of what's happening. Another big development, the U.S. revoking a waiver it had just issued to give Iran 60 days to sell its oil. The White House pulling back that release earlier this evening. Greg?
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now.
Catch full shows streaming now.
Let's turn off Fox here for a second. What I do see here is Iran celebrates the life and times of their, magnificent leader. That's number one. Iran is not going to close the strait. But what Iran will do is they will threaten shipping lanes. And by threatening shipping lanes, that is where the game gets played. That's where it gets a little frisky and dicey, because what does that do? Well, all these companies that are insuring these ships, that's what the real problem rolls in. Prayers to all the American warriors in harm's way everywhere. That is a really good. This is a 49-year war. Somebody called us dumb people. Okay, here, let's just, there you go. Goodbye. See you later. Wait, not that one. Where was this guy? Dictum, whatever. See you later. Have a great night. Anyway, we don't deal with trolls here. That's just, that's what we do. I'm tired of the trolls. And let's flush our first one of the night. And it's really interesting to see some of the trolls that do come into the chat. Because about 90% of them are anti-American trolls. And we've seen what's happened, or I'll show you what's happened. There's 4 Americans that I don't believe should be allowed back in the United States. If they are, they should immediately be cuffed and stuffed. Is there anyone in the chat, military-wise, veterans, that has served in the Gulf of Oman, in the Strait of Hormuz? Because if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I want to show you the other side of the coin here. I want to show you the other side of the reporting with a little bit of the anti-American rhetoric that we've become to love.
Told about an attack on commercial vessels near where you are right now. Tell us more about what you're learning.
That's right, Wolf. This exclusive access here aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln is coming at a time when there are escalating tensions right near where I am. We're in the Arabian Sea, and just today, Wolf, Iran launched strikes against 3 vessels.
I want to say something really quickly. She's on board the USS Abraham Lincoln as a CNN reporter. If any of you believe that that is a problem, leave a comment in the chat, because I personally don't believe any news media should be allowed on a warship in a combat zone. I don't even think news media should be allowed on bases, but I'm sure there's a federal judge somewhere that will. She's on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Can you imagine the amount of money that the U.S. government would pay if something were to happen to this lady? Choke on that one.
That were trying to transit through the strait, through the Oman route. That was a route established a couple of months ago. So this is escalating already heightened tensions, even though there is this memorandum of understanding in place right now. One U.S. official I spoke to said what Iran did today is a gross violation of the memorandum of understanding. This person calling it illogical. Someone else I spoke to said Iran clearly trying to flex its muscles right now. As you know, the negotiations are on pause due to the funeral of the former Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. But right now, Iran is using this time clearly to be provocative. In fact, the view from the U.S. officials I've been speaking to is that this is the most provocative Iran has been since that memorandum was put in place in mid-June. Now, we know there have been skirmishes. In fact, after the memorandum was signed, Iran struck a vessel from Singapore, as we know, and in response to striking that vessel.
So here's my question. With these airstrikes occurring right now, with Iran retaliating, with them, they've basically just come out and said they are going to make another attempt on the president's life. I think at this current state of what's going on with the president in Turkey, which is a, mostly peaceful religion over there, I believe right now that we have to take decisive actions. I'm not talking just some airstrikes. I think we need to do more than that. We have warships in the region. They don't call them destroyers because they have, a welcoming crew. It's not the Love Boat. They don't call them destroyers because it's the Love Boat. We have United States Navy submarines operating in and around that area. They are monitoring everything. There are periscopes up 24/7. Those submarines, I can't get into exactly the operations that we used to do, but I can tell you this. There are submarines at periscope depth 24/7 with equipment that some of you probably would be blown away by if I told you, and I would get in trouble if I told you. But there's nothing happening in Iran right now that we don't know about, that we are not aware of. There is no form of communication that Iran has that we can't listen to. Nothing. I'm telling you, nothing, okay? So is Iran about to close the strait? Wrong. It's 21 miles wide. The shipping lane's 4 miles wide. The best that they could do is to actually sink a tanker That would be the best thing they could do because it would close the channel temporarily. And then you would have tugs, then you would have destroyers, you would have some of these other ships drag it out of the way. That is the best thing that they could do. But I will say right now, the real weapon is fear. That's what Iran is using. Sure, they're launching these things, but they're using fear more. They're raising insurance rates. They're rerouting tankers. They are obviously, look here. I mean, they are using all of this to raise gas prices. Current state of current 379 national gas average. Think about this as well before you freak out about the national gas average. National. Let's take out California. Let's take out Washington. Let's take out Oregon, and then tell me what the national average of gas is. Okay? Because I got gas today, and it was about $3.19 is what I got gas in my old truck. So, without California, without Oregon, without Washington, without New York, without DC, without Connecticut, gas prices are much lower than this national average. But they don't want to tell you that because it's fear. That's exactly what this is. That is how they sell this. Listen to CNN. They're so good at selling fear.
In the Strait, CENTCOM did respond and with a retaliation against Iranian targets. Now, I'm told with what happened today with these 3 vessels that did sustain damage, no casualties, that right now the U.S. military is weighing its options and deciding how to proceed, what to do. And as you know, Wolf, the USS Abraham Lincoln has been a central platform since this conflict began. It's been here since the very beginning. It has offensive capability, defensive capability. So we'll have to wait and see what CENTCOM decides in terms of responding to these attacks by the Iranians today, right near where we are here.
I don't agree with her being on a warship. I do not. It's so wrong. And I hope that the Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, how many of you think that we should allow CNN on a warship? Does that make here we go. Pryor's one of my investment entrepreneurs in there. Pryor said crude oil went back up 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. That is how Iran affects us. Okay. Iran is dying to make a deal. I love what you did there. I like the play on words. Okay, you got me. That was a good one. Let's see here. I want to see this. So we've got now a little more information coming out with regards to all this. The president is in Turkey at the NATO summit. We have already come to the conclusion that NATO is not our friend. We understand that. We all get it. NATO is not there to help us. NATO is not there to support us. If they were, they would be engaged in what's going on right now. We understand that, and I know all of you do. Okay? So what do we do next? Here we go. Do me a favor. Post your gas prices in the chat. Gas was around $65 a barrel. It's $72.49 right now. Gas should be coming down within the next week after we get through the $100 per barrel. Okay. Getting ready to make dinner. Thank you very much. I'm glad you are. The fact CNN is still allowed in Navy ships just shows everything is absolutely bullshit, I think is what he said. $4.35 a gallon diesel in New Orleans. Okay. Now I want to move a little further into this because we've got this right here. U.S. Central Command forces have begun launching a series of powerful strikes against Iran to impose heavy costs for targeting and attacking commercial shipping crewed by innocent civilians in an international waterway. U.S. strikes are in response to Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vehicles that were transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's demonstrated aggression was unwarranted, dangerous, clear violation of the ceasefire. I completely agree with it. Man, I'm seeing some great gas prices. Ben, they need to cut off all of her comms. When operations start, she will leak information. Whew. Boy, Joe might have brought up something that a lot of you have been thinking. They very well could leak information. I don't trust our news media. I don't believe any of us do. Okay? Now, I want to talk about, excuse me, this real quick. And Joe, thank you for that comment. One of my moderators over here. So these are 4 Americans, right? 4 American, quote, influencers. And I know the word influencer sounds just gay as shit. Meet the 4 American influencers who attended Ayatollah Khomeini's funeral in Iran. Can you guess what they all have in common? 4 of them, radical leftist. 3, openly communist. They are all openly and fiercely against Western civilization. There's Max Blumenthal on the left, Jackson Hinkle on the right. I don't know who the 2 chicks in the middle are. I don't know who they are. But they are actively promoting, more importantly, they're actually protesting the United States. This is Jackson Hinkle. He is also a paid employee of CNN. U.S.-born political commentator turned MAGA communist, co-founder of the American Communist Party. He is an avowed communist. Currently resides in Moscow, serving as a high-profile online advocate for the Islamic regime in Iran and Russia. Look what he's got there. A little picture of the Ayatollah. Here's the next one. This is Christopher Halali, Greek Orthodox priest turned Marxist-Leninist. And it looks like he's got on a Russian flag there. Currently resides in Moscow, serving as an overt propagandist and mouthpiece for the Islamic regime. Now, here's one that is very, very powerful. Max Blumenthal. His dad is Sidney Blumenthal. Does that name sound familiar? It should. He was a White House cabinet member or staff member for Bill and Hillary Clinton. U.S.-born journalist turned radical leftist, founder of the Gray Zone. Currently operates digital media outlet, best friends with Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Sean Ryan, Graham Plattner, all of these clowns. Sidney Blumenthal is his father. Also, he's been on Tucker Carlson many times. Him and Tucker, they probably spoon or sword fight or both. They're the incredibly gay duo, Mitch and Gary. Okay, here we go. Here's the other weird chick. Calla Walsh, U.S.-born Democrat activist turned communist, co-founder of the Palestine Action U.S. network. Currently resides in Lebanon, serving as a full-time propagandist for the Islamic regime in Iran. What are you thinking about? We got another troll. All right, this is easy. This is too easy tonight. Here we go. Well, then he will bow. Okay, let's, Max, you are a troll. I used to kind of let you will all bow to, who are we going to bow to? Mac is a snake also. Max Blumenthal is a grifting clown. And obviously, runs the Gray Zone, works in Russia. So there you go. He is a snake oil salesman. You're seeing more and more snake oil salesmen. He's also been pushing this crazy narrative about, here we go. Let's just ban him. Let's ban Max. Super flush. Goodbye. Anybody comes in here and says bow down, sorry, I'm not bowing to anybody. We might bow on Sunday when we go to church, but we're not bowing down to any Islamic regime clowns. That's not what we do here. And if you're anti-American, your time here will be short. I will just say that. Now I want to show you just how treasonous this clown is, and I want you to let me know if this meets the real definition of treason. This is Jackson Hinkle. Let me know in the comments, is this treason?
به دولت آمریکا وگرنه آمریکایی هم پیدا میشه که اینطوری آزاده باشه دست همه بالا ببینیم خودش چجوری میگه شما جوابشو بدید.
Listen to what he says.
Down with USA. Down with USA. Down with USA. Down with Zionists. Down with Zionists. Down with USA.
So he is in Tehran. This is a celebration of the life of the Ayatollah Khomeini. This is Jackson Hinkle. And if you don't know who this clown is, this is very dangerous because Jackson Hinkle has a hell of a following. A hell of a following. And you see it's going all over. Okay? And here he is just with all these other clowns. And I'm telling you, the enemy's, I love this, the enemy's influencer. You thought that Nick Fuentes was dangerous? Jackson Hinkle is very, very dangerous because I'll just show you. Let's see if I can find his real account. He's got so many accounts that have been banned. It's ridiculous. See, all of these are getting banned. I think Elon Musk has banned him multiple times. So he's got some parody accounts and things like that. But let me ask you this right now. Doing what they're doing, does that meet the definition of treason? Do you think it does? Because for me, whenever I see something like this, that, number one, it makes me sick to my stomach. It really, really makes me sick to my stomach whenever I see someone, and we got a lot of people watching over on X. Thank you very much. But we're seeing a growing movement of people that just hate America. Okay? Like you said, I want to show you something here, and I've shared this before. Some of you may or may not have seen this, but the sentiment is profitable. It is a very profitable move by a lot of people. I want to show you, let me see if I can pull this back out just a little bit here to show you. Okay, so this is a recording that I made about 2 years ago. There was an organization called United 24 Media, and they reached out to me. United 24 Media. You can see the link here. They're a propagandist machine. They're a Ukraine propaganda machine. They reached out to me, and they pay a lot of influencers. Well, this clown that you're going to see here, his name is Eugene. And I recorded the Zoom call. I recorded it because I wanted to trap this guy. Listen to what he says here. I'll just play a little bit of this. Live in Ukraine itself, is that right?
Yeah, I moved to the United States 2 years ago.
Okay. Why did you move to the United States? Why wouldn't you stay and fight for your country?
I didn't do that mainly because, first of all, the company who I'm employed for, United 24 Media, they felt like I would be...
Out. Like you said, you don't live in Ukraine itself, is that right?
Yeah, I moved to the United States 2 years ago.
Okay. Why did you move to the United States? Why wouldn't you stay and fight for your country?
I didn't do that mainly because, first of all, the company who I'm employed for, United 24 Media, they felt like I would be helping my country in a better way if I move to the United States. Also, I had a couple of job offers from the United States, and my uncle lives in San Francisco. And I've been to California many times before, and also I have some medical conditions that won't let me basically fight for my country. So I'm trying to fight for my country in the media, in the info. How is that?
Propaganda.
How to tell? Yeah, kinda.
Kind of like propaganda? Yeah, that's what I think too.
Well,
do you like that? He's like, and I said, propaganda? Well, Yeah. I've got the whole recording. I'll share the entire recording of this in the Discord. I'll share the entire 9-minute interview that I've got with this clown in the Discord, because I think it is super important for people to realize that there are organizations like United 24 Media that are paying these people. This is him right here, United 24 Media. The same thing is occurring in Iran. The same thing is occurring in Ukraine. Same thing is occurring in Russia. Same thing's occurring in China. Join the channel. Get in the Discord. I'll share the entire video with all of you there. It is very, very telling that this guy lives in the United States, lives in San Francisco. Of course he does. And he spreads propaganda. And he's paying a lot of these influencers online to, to do exactly what they're good at. They try to change people. I wouldn't be surprised if he's paying Candace Owens or any of that stuff. I've got a couple of things I need to say thank you for first before we go any further on the channel tonight. Smash a like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Number one, somebody sent me a gift card to Sam's Club. I won't mention the name, but thank you so much for the Sam's Club gift card. A lot of you know that on Wednesdays, I go buy a lot of dog food for service dogs for veterans. I'm going to put this towards that. So I really appreciate that. The other thing that somebody sent me, and they did not, include their name or anything, is they sent me an autographed photo with the certificate of authenticity. The kid's name is Jack. He scored the winning goal for the USA in the hockey. And somebody sent me this. I'm going to get this framed. It's an autographed photo. The kid with no teeth. That's a real patriot. I want to say thank you to the people that did that, the people that sent me that. So I will definitely be getting some thank you cards out for all of that. So that is super important. That I share that, because I'm really appreciative to everyone in the chat that donates. I use a lot of the money from the super chats and memberships to help veterans. And so there you go. The chat's now open to everyone. Absolutely. The chat's always open. Okay. Let's see here. Wait, there we go. Let's do that. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the chat sort of like set up so that it's subscribers only. It'll get rid of the trolls. The dude loves America. Yeah, he lost all of his teeth. He lost literally all of his teeth. Now, I want to show you a couple of other things here tonight that is pretty important with what's happening. The Charlie Kirk trial kicked off. We know that. There's something else that happened that I believe a lot of you have been calling for a long time. A hidden FBI room has yielded Seth Rich documents. This is the DNC staffer who lost his life in D.C. in 2016, right as the heat of the election was really ramping up. In what police call a botched robbery, no arrest, the FOIA request led the FBI to acknowledge holding Seth Rich's laptop, thousands of pages, though it was withheld then, citing an ongoing investigation. Newly found documents come from the hidden SCIF space uncovered by FBI Director Kash Patel, which also held Crossfire hurricane materials in burn bags. Clevenger awaits release of the files, questions about their timing. Now, here is something very important. Congressman Tim Burchett just submitted this letter. I got to open this door. Hold on a second. Here, come on. Congressman Tim Burchett submitted a letter to Kash Patel to release all of this information in regards to the death of Seth Rich. Now, this comes on the cusp of Tulsi Gabbard releasing everything about Fauci. We're finding out more and more about Russiagate. We're going to find out more about Seth Rich. I think this is super important in what I would say, getting to the real root of the cause. Shines to God. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that for Fred's paycheck. Fred runs the soundboard. I had to let him out. He had to go probably tinkle. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, how many of you believe that they're going to connect some dots for this? Because I think we're going to see some major dots get connected with the Seth Rich thing. Seth Rich, the Russiagate, that whole collusion thing is really going to gain some ground. So here's some more information here. This is from Clevenger. He put in the FOIA report, or FOIA request. Last year's Fox report described burn bags contain thousands of pages. And for those of you that forget, this is Seth Rich. Okay. He says, by the way, I'm not unalivable, or I don't want to take my own life. Use the high flow flush. Who do we need to flush now? We got more trolls in here? Man, we're really over the target tonight if we got this many trolls. My water bill's going to be through the roof. Make sure you donate to help me get to my water bill. Maybe that's the jam there, I guess. So really appreciate that. Let me do this real quick. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So the water bill's going to go up. All right. There we go. That's great. So I don't know what you think about the Seth Rich situation. Me personally, I think it's monumental that we get to the bottom of this. We need to find out exactly what's going on. We need to get more transparency in our government. We've got a lot of stuff we need to take care of in the Middle East, but we need to get real answers, not only for Seth Rich, for his family, but to find out exactly what our, what do you want to call it? What our government has been hiding from us, because we know they have been hiding things from us. And I think Trump is the only president that's really pushing any sort of transparency. We haven't seen it with any other level from any other president, and I'm glad to see it right now. Let's run through a couple of other things here. We got Seth Rich. We talk about Iran. The Iran situation is going to continue to heat up. I believe what we need to do is, at this point, we know we can't trust Iran. We know that we have operatives within our country working for Iran. We know we have the news media working for Iran. We saw that with Jackson Hinkle and these other clowns. We know this. So how do we get to the next level? How do we get to the next position on the chessboard? I think at some point, Iran has to be dealt with. They need to be dealt with at a very, very shock and awe sort of level, so that they learn a lesson. I don't know if they will learn a lesson. I want to catch up here. There's a lot of more stuff coming in right now. U.S. forces currently striking southwestern Iran in response to the IRGC attacks on 3 commercial vehicles. The U.S. strike on Iran is much heavier than previous retaliatory strikes. Over 20 explosions in Bandar Abbas. Bandar Abbas is literally the port right as the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz. So over 20 explosions in Bandar Abbas alone. That is big. I mean, we are not playing games anymore. And I'm glad the U.S. hits Iran with powerful strikes after attacks on commercial ships. Okay, I want to see if we can get anything. Oh, it's written in gibberish right there, some Sanskrit. Okay, there we go. U.S. official explains reasoning behind latest significantly larger strikes. I think at some point we just have to punish these people. The beatings will continue until morale improves. That's what I think. Ground forces in Iran would be the logical next step. Oh, man. Jerry, 168. Does anybody agree with Jerry in the chat? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you want to? I don't know if I want to see. I don't think I'm comfortable. Well, I don't think I want to see boots on the ground there. Let me see if I can pull up this map here real quick. I want to pull this up and see. Aha, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Now we have this. Okay, so the airstrikes, Bandar Abbas is right here. Let me hide this. Bandar Abbas is right here. This is where the 20 plus explosions are occurring, is Bandar Abbas. You can see the outline here of the major part that they're hitting is this deep water port and all of these oil storage facilities. Do you see those there? That is what they're hitting. We gave Iran an off-ramp, a 60-day MOU. A lot of people don't want to see boots on the ground. I fully agree with you, Ben, on the Iran situation. I don't want to see boots on the ground there. I really don't. I think that's another can of worms. And I don't think that I don't know, man. Dictum says Karg might be a trap for the United States Marine Corps. You're assuming the Marine Corps is not well trained. I don't believe you're going to trap the Marine Corps. I don't. Now, let's see Karg Island. Is there anything going on at more airstrikes right near Karg Island? Look at this. Look at the airstrikes rolling in right here. Dictum, thank you for the comment. Be nice or you'll get flushed again. Let's see here. So we've got more airstrikes occurring in, and look at that. More oil facilities. Look at the oil facilities right there. They're bombarding that. Karg Island. I don't believe Karg Island is any level of a trap. You're not going to trap the United States Marine Corps. With not happening, right? VX gas the bat. Whoa, he's going World War II with the mustard gas. Wow. Okay. All right. Mustard gas. Damn. I think that violates a lot of Geneva Conventions. I'm not sure. I'm not read up on the Geneva Convention right now, but I think it could. I want to see if Trump has posted anything over on True Social. He said NATO's stronger because Trump demanded more. Toyota's moving from Mexico to the United States. That's awesome. Trump really hasn't posted anything about what's going on in Iran. Now, it could be because he's in NATO, but at the same time, it could be that it's none of our business right now as far as like what he wants to put out. I want to see what else we've got. Let's go here. Let's see what else we've got coming in out of the updates. Okay, here we go. Now, reports of U.S. strikes targeting IRGC positions at the Dare port in Bushehr province on Karg Island. Airstrikes on Karg Island. New wave of airstrikes is underway right now on Karg Island. Here, let's go here. Look at this. This is a game changer that they're striking them. I did not think that we would see that. I did not think we would see airstrikes. Uh-oh. Who's ready for more cease and for less cease, more fire? So airstrikes on Karg Island. Here we go. Trump approved ongoing retaliatory strikes on Iran after meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent while in Turkey. U.S. officials also told Axios' Barak Ravid that the well assessment about the results of the strikes and make decisions afterwards. Airstrikes on Karg Island change. Here we go. We've got actual footage there. Let's see here. This is Qeshm Island.
Oh, Waran. Ya Khuda, Ya Khuda.
I think he said hide your goats. I believe that's what he said. Here we've got more airstrikes coming in right here. Look at this. This is Bandar Abbas. Whoa, boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is the, oh man.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Let me ask this. Do you think that Trump waited to get to Turkey for this? I wish one of these airstrikes would, maybe find its way to this clown. Do you think Trump waited to get to Turkey, to get to NATO, to show them what we were capable of? Somebody said lots of oil on that island that could blow up. Jerry, you're not wrong, brother. I mean, this right here, you are not wrong about that. Let me see what else is going on. Oh, there's that guy. U.S. has launched strikes against Iran. CENTCOM, CNN's probably pandering for them. IRGC has attacked multiple ships. U.S. Treasury revoked Iran's oil revenue license. We're pulling their license to sell oil. U.S. launched largest strikes on IRGC positions, including Iran's small boats. Good. Mysterious power outages in Kuwait and Bahrain. IDF bombing Hezbollah. So we've got Israel dropping bombs in Lebanon. We have power outages in Kuwait and Bahrain. Let's go here. I want to see this. This is huge. U.S. military launches powerful strikes against Iran. They're not really saying a lot about that. Let me go back here real quick. Let's go here. New York Times on a U.S. military official. The strikes on Iran will continue for some time and will focus on a series of military targets. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister and new okay, hold up. Here we go. This is where we see the warplanes, ladies and gentlemen. This is a flight radar. Look at this. This is from X-22. Look at the aircraft moving in and around that area. Do you see that? K-35s are tankers. They're refueling. So there are a lot of Strike Eagles. There's probably a lot of F-18s, the Hornets, Super Hornets off the naval aircraft. There's probably some stealth bombers there. 8 tankers flying right now, refueling. That's huge. Corbin Dalla, hello. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Glad you're saying. Go Israel, no mercy for Islam. I don't think I'm at the mercy point right now either. I feel sorry for the people there, but at the same, this is more footage or more images coming out of Bandar Abbas. I don't feel sorry for the IRGC. And if they're targeting the IRGC, then that's exactly what we need to do. I thought I would have some more stuff there, but let's refresh this and see if we have anything else. Iran conflict. Thomas Massey's lying and says he spoke to Mitch McConnell. We don't believe that. Does anyone believe Mitch McConnell is alive? I don't until I see a video or see him holding today's newspaper. U.S. commanders bypass warnings about outdated intelligence. Oh, CNN's still running the thing on the school. Look at this. Look at the more airstrikes here. Let's go here. Let's get some audio here. There we go. Here we go.
Bandar Abbas یا ابوالفضل دوباره جنگ شروع خیلی وحشتناک بود.
I really don't have any pity for these people. I don't. We got more strikes here. Let me see this.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow. Man, the footage of the airstrikes just continues. Wow. Okay. I'm at the point right now where I'm just like, I've had enough. I've had enough of Iran. I feel sorry for the people that are there, the innocent people that are there. But at the same time, I can't have any pity for this. U.S. strikes Iran, imposes more sanctions. You're going to see gas prices go up. I would highly, if you want to save $5-10, I would go fill up tonight. Analysis, can the U.S.-Iran ceasefire survive a new round of strikes? I worry about the president right now because he's in an Islamic country. He's in a Muslim country. He's in Turkey. I know the president has great security. I do believe that. But I do worry about the safety of the president. Number one, the aircraft. He's in new aircraft. He's in a new Air Force One. We know that. He is in probably, I know JD Vance is not there. But at the same time, I know Secretary of State Marco Rubio is there. I believe Scott Bessent is there. There's some very important chess pieces to the game that the president is playing with him. Do I have faith in our Secret Service? We all know what happened at Butler. I just hope the large girl with the gun is not there. But man, I just don't know about if I trust what's going on right now. Let's grab some supers here. Super chat $2 from Davidson Chris, 737. Thank you. 337 gas prices where you're at. Post those in the chat. Let's see here. Protect Spencer Pratt at all cost. Hated for a reason. G-Dub. Thank you for G-Dub. Hold up. Anytime G-Dub makes a super chat, I got to put on my Compton hat. There you go. White guy with a Compton hat. Alert. Thank you. Let's go there.
How dare you?
$10 from Assorted Weirdness. That's a good name. I thought I heard him say, Lord have mercy. I think I heard him say the same thing. My ears are not the best. I think I might have heard the same thing. Let's go here. I want to get some more information coming out. Let's see here. What else do we got coming out of various outlets? It doesn't seem like a lot of people are covering this, which is, to me, troublesome. I would think that this would get full coverage on every network, but it's really not. And it doesn't seem like a lot of people are covering this, but Carg Island confirmed hit. And you can see the oil containers here. And that Devers port, they hit right here. This is what's been hit right there. Delta and SEAL Team 6 usually help the Secret Service in high-risk areas. Army, wow, I did not know that. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service as well. Okay. That's good to know. He said poop my pants in. Okay. Brain dead is just as bad as dead. I don't know who you're talking about, but probably Joe Biden. I agree with you there. Texas Aviator, if Iran wanted peace, they would have been enjoying it for the past 47 years. They don't. Texas Aviator, thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate that. White cat looks good with the background. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, G-Dub sent me that. It's my Compton hat so that I can go to it's basically my free admission to the barbecues in Compton, and they're fantastic. It's a BYOK sort of barbecue. It's bring your own Kool-Aid, and I really do. Here we go. Ranger Recon, trust no cowboys and rock stars needed. Okay, don't know what that is in reference to. Trump's pushing the SAVE Act with the defense funding reconciliation. This has to get passed. I still can't believe that someone like Thomas Massey comes out and says the irony of Republicans trying to attach the SAVE Act to a bill. It should be. It should absolutely be attached. Candace Owens is now clashing with Charlie Kirk's widow. That whole trial has started. I don't really weigh in very much on this. I think Candace Owens is a schizophrenic, basically jilted ex-girlfriend at best. It looks like Graham Plattner is losing all support from everyone, but apparently a leftist group is now coming out and saying his replacement could be worse. I don't believe they're going to replace Graham Plattner with a white guy. I fully believe that Graham Plattner would be replaced with Susan Rice. Susan Rice lives in Maine. She has a home in Maine. I don't think she lives in Maine, but she's got a home there. And I fully believe that if they replaced Graham Plattner with that, that's who they'll That would be the logical replacement. It would not be another white guy. That's just not how that mechanism works. That's my opinion anyway. I did have something. Let me see here. Graham Plattner. I got to show you this. You've got to see the people that endure. Basically, this is the couple that financed Graham Plattner. They financed his entire sort of run. And I want you to hear this guy. I'm going to say guy. I want you to hear his voice.
How did you find Graham Plattner?
Well, so, I mean, we went through thousands and thousands of prospects. Then, Leanne pulled up this video of this guy with an oyster farm.
My name is Graham Plattner, and I live in Sullivan, Maine, the owner of Frenchman Bay Oyster Company.
And then she pulled up his FEC history and saw, the money he'd given to Bernie Sanders and, some other people. And that was enough information to know that we had the best prospect that we'd maybe ever seen.
How did you go about vetting him? And why did you?
We paid a nice firm a whole chunk of money and got some stuff back.
Did the vetting process turn up the tattoo that became so controversial?
No.
The Reddit posts, did that turn up in the vetting process?
The firm sent us a thing, and it had some of the posts, but it didn't have all of them.
How did you think your way through the fact that he had posted these things on social media?
I said none of this will or should stop him from becoming a U.S.
There you go. So this is the couple that found Graham Plattner. The voice is what got me. The more uncomfortable he became, the higher pitched his voice is.
PC history and saw, the money he'd given to Bernie Sanders and, some other people. And that was enough information to know that we had the best prospect that we'd maybe ever seen.
How did you go about that?
So Graham Plattner donated to Bernie Sanders. That made him a qualified candidate. That is how that Graham Plattner was chosen. Okay. Super chat from Martin. I got one word, Moab, mother of all booms. $2 from T-Paul. They asked us not to drop bombs during the funeral, and then they did that. You're absolutely right. It is a weird move that Iran is operating from. That's about the best way that I can really describe it. They are an ironic load of crap. They cannot be trusted. I don't think the Democrat Party is giving us any reason to trust them either. Now even Bernie Sanders is coming, and this is off the wires right now. Bernie Sanders is coming out and telling Graham Plattner to step aside. Bernie stepped aside for Hillary. If he didn't, I think Bernie Sanders had a good chance in that race against Trump. I don't know if he would have won, but Bernie had all of the momentum. And for Bernie to come out now and say that, that this guy needs to step down is pretty telling. It's pretty telling. Okay. That's a strange move for that to happen. I want to do this. I'm going to take a handful of calls tonight. I want to get some opinions on what's going on, what you all are seeing, what you all think about the situation in Iran, about the situation in here in the United States. We've got some, what I would say, I don't know if I want to call it problems, but I think we do have some issues when people like this, Bernie Sanders, Graham Plattner, are gaining ground. That's a pretty big problem. I do want to take some calls. The lines are open, 615-475-7864. Make sure you turn down the audio. That's all I have to ask, is just turn down the audio And I'd love to get your opinion on what you're thinking about basically all of this stuff. I do want to talk a little bit about Tommy out in Portland. For those of you that don't know, Tommy's house was basically attacked by Antifa. Him and his wife and his dog, they broke into their home and attacked them at 3:30 in the morning. Tommy's been on the show here. And they sprayed him and his dog with pepper spray and his wife. They found out where he lived. The way that they found out where he lived was through what Tommy says, the Seattle Police Department. They threw a brick through the bedroom window. They sprayed bear mace directly into the room, hitting his wife and his dog. He said they also slashed all the tires on his family vehicle. Something he said has happened before. And I've got a clip here of what had happened, and I want to show you this right here. This is what happened to Tommy.
Look at what they did. Look at what they did. Look, they broke our fucking window and bear maced.
Sorry for the language.
Our bedroom, bear maced my wife at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. They threw a brick through our bedroom window and soaked us with mace.
Okay, I wanna grab this call here. Let's see what we got. Line 2, go right ahead. Line 2.
Hey, Ben's Greg from Ohio. I'm just watching the clip about Tommy. My opinion is Tommy needs to get out of Portland because
he's in Seattle. He is out of Portland. No, hold on. He's out of Portland. He's in Seattle. They followed him there.
Yeah, the police are giving his information out because we both know those states are terrorist states. He has no chance fighting the government.
You know, sadly, Antifa in Portland, in Seattle, is the government. Greg, you're 1,000% right. You nailed it. Hit it right on the head. Thank you for calling, brother. God bless you. Let's go line 2. What do you got? Line 2.
Say it again.
Line 2. Go right ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'm Ruben. I'm one of the B-2 bomber ships who was flying over Iran. We just got back to the military base. I just wanted to say hello to everyone, and you guys are awesome.
Wait a second. Hold on. What is your accent? You don't sound like an American pilot.
I'm not an American pilot. I'm a Hungarian pilot, but we trained with the Americans, and I became a B-2 pilot in the USA 5 years ago.
Well, and you're in the U.S. Air Force?
Yes.
You're in the U.S. Air Force. You just came back from flying a mission over Iran.
In Iran. Yes.
Okay, and what can you tell us about that?
I can only tell most of it is classified, but I can tell we dropped 16 bombs on Qatari Island with B-2 bombers, and we most likely gonna have a, let's say, like a ground invasion in the next weeks of Qatari Island, most likely.
You're saying you're a pilot, a B-2 pilot. You're calling in to my show. You said you dropped 6 bombs on Qatari Island, and you think we're gonna have a ground invasion.
Yes, most likely we are setting up currently other teams with us to basically do a ground invasion in the next 2 weeks.
I don't want to say, I don't want to be, I've got to be a little realistic here real quick. Okay. What rank are you in the Air Force? You said you're in the U.S. Air Force, right?
Yes, I'm a B-2 bomber advisor as a NATO member. I'm advisor of any mission. And currently we are advising them with NATO supplies the mission in Iran.
I find this hard to believe because any level of security, any level of operational security, this would violate everything. So I'm going to go ahead and say I don't believe you. I just definitely don't believe you.
But in that sense, that it would only violate everything if it wouldn't be public knowledge if someone goes on the site of the Pentagon, because we posted a statement that most likely there is a life possibility of there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your service as an advisor on a B-2 bomber. I don't think there's any room. How many people are in B-2s? How many people are on board a B-2?
2, and electronic advisor. So just see the picture what they see.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your calling. I've never had anyone that was LARPing as an advisor for a B-2 call in, but this is a first. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I don't want to be too realistic, but I don't believe any of that. I'm sorry. I don't believe any of that. Right? I don't believe it. I don't believe anyone is calling in saying that they are a B-2 advisor. Okay? I'm sorry. I was born during the day, but it wasn't yesterday. I don't know about how the Air Force works or wherever this guy's from. But I think this guy's right. Beyond rocket science, there's 5 on board. Well, there's an advisor now. They have an advisor, and they have a Hungarian advisor from NATO. Sorry, I don't believe it. Okay? Sorry, I don't believe that. Smoke something? Yeah, exactly. Lines are open if we have any more B-2 bomber pilots in the chat that want to call in. I'd love to talk to you. I was a door gunner on a submarine, so there you go. Call him out, Patriots. Yeah, exactly. Dipsticks. Ben Dykes, the smell test failed on that call. Joe's a Marine. He knows exactly. Wow, LARPers will LARP anything. Yeah, live action role players. He's probably got his 100-sided dice out. Now, to get back to what happened to Tommy here, this is a bad situation, and I feel sorry for Tommy. Tommy did set up a GoFundMe, and I'm going to make some donations through the Super Chats tonight to Tommy's GoFundMe to help this guy out. He went back to taking McDonald's drive-thru orders. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably 1,000% right. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. If you are a B-2 bomber pilot, you get head of the line on the phone calls. You get right through. Ben, the rumor is we're going to send ground troops to the islands and take over the strait. Mike, where is the rumor coming from for that? Where is that rumor? Where is the rumor? And how do we substantiate? I don't want to be the contrarian, but I'm going to be. I'm going to be the contrarian. Where is the rumor coming from? Is this something on Facebook? Is this something written in a truck stop? Is it from a B-2 pilot advisor? Where's the rumor coming from? Okay, hold on. Let's go. Rumor control. Tommy, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man. Hey, guys. Listen. Oh, the B-2 bomber, man. Yeah. It's 172-foot wingspan and what is it about?
I just don't believe somebody calling it.
69 feet long, 2 pilots, 69 feet long, 2 pilots, provisions for a third member for certain specifications. That guy there is no advisor position. Dude, I've been flying jets. Well, not anymore because I'm an old man, but, 21 years as an airline pilot. Little old Tommy here, the guitar player.
Exactly.
Okay, so no. There's no advisor position. My father is military. My older brother, my baby brother, Air Force Academy grad.
I just got a text message from I just got a text message from a friend of mine that's watching, and he's still in, and he flies something, and I can't say, but he just called it, or he just sent me a text. Tommy, thank you for calling. Thanks for the input. I'm gonna grab this other call. There we go. B-2 pilot call center. What you got? They hung up. B-2 pilot, bad signal. Ben, when I used to work the stage at the Chocolate Thunder, I had an advisor that worked on a B-2 bomber. Okay. Does Tommy Rad have a B-2 in his garage? I'm buying a B-2. Let's go here. I think we got disconnected last time. Thank you for calling back. Thank you for holding. Really appreciate it. What you got to say?
I'm so sorry. I just, I haven't called in yet, and I'm assorted weirdness.
It sounds like it.
Pretty much. I might have already said that I've been drinking a little bit of Gentleman Jack, but I just think that we need to get the proof of life for Mitch McConnell.
All righty. Thank you very much. There we go. Bobby, Tennessee. I hope you're sober and not a B-2 pilot.
I think Hinkle had that guy call in from Tehran.
You know, I wish a B-2 pilot would visit Jackson Hinkle. I really wish that.
I know, man. Wouldn't that be great? Missiles just start, rockets and all that shit just start dropping. But no,
Bobby, let me ask you this real quick. Quick.
Uh-huh.
When somebody says there's a rumor that we're going to take the strait and take where do these rumors start? Is this coming in on the Candace Owens show? What is going on with this? How do rumors like that get out there?
Well, the people who want to mislead us, they start the rumors. They start it. And then sometimes even the people that are on our side will start a rumor.
Okay.
Just to see how far it goes and to see who's coming out of the woodwork. So,
okay.
You have to look at both sides of that. People are stupid smart sometimes,
I do think that it's like when the news media says they've released something, but they won't give the source. I never believe it because I'm like, if you knew it, you would release the source, right?
Yeah, it's the age old anonymous source.
Yeah.
Just like the word alleged, even though there's video.
Yeah.
So, don't believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Bobby, thank you for calling, brother. I really appreciate
you. Have
your
a
time.
good night, buddy.
B-2 bombers for everybody. Let's see here. Line 6. Go right ahead.
Hey, Ben, it's Greg from Ohio again. Real quick, I forgot
Greg,
to mention,
I never let people call in twice, but all right, I'll let you get away with it. No, go right ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, what do you think about Mitch McConnell's wife flying back to China, her home country? You think she's over there cleaning up loose ends?
Her family is one of the richest families in the world. They own a giant shipping company. There is no coincidence with her flying back there. I don't know what's going on with Mitch McConnell. There's multiple reports saying that he is alive. I don't think if he is alive, I don't think he is functioning. But it works great for the Democrats. That's why they're not saying anything, because he would be a Republican vote on the SAVE Act. God bless you. Thank you for calling, brother. There's another report coming out right now. This dropped just minutes ago. Graham Plattner, ex-girlfriend, claims she took off the things during the thing when they were doing the horizontal yoga, and apparently there is more information coming in here. So I don't know what people think about this Graham Plattner situation, other than the guy is just a clown. I don't want to use the word clown loosely. I don't think the guy's a good pick. Bernie Sanders calling for him to step down. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to call in. All pilots, B-2 pilots are welcome to call. What you got, B-2 pilot number 2?
I tell you what, Ben, I normally have some smart ass thing to say when we jump in, but
there we go. I think I hear you now. What you got, brother?
You might want to save that number and send it over to NCIS, man, because
I think
I tell you what, the only thing scarier than that call being fake is that call being real.
Switch. I think
imagine if he is in that position and he's running his mouth like that. Crazy. Even though pretty sure we don't let NATO deal with B-2s that much. Pretty sure about that. But I got some good news for you, Ben. I'm a granddaddy now.
One headset. Let's go here. Number 1 headset. All right, here we go. See if I can get some audio here. I think I might have hung up on that caller, but anyway. All right, we'll get it back in a second. Let me change these things out. I think they're about dead. Here we go. All right, now we got some headsets. Perfect. All right, let's go right here. What you got? Line 2.
I would repeat myself because I think we got disconnected. Man, that B-2 pilot, that was a crazy call, man. You might want to save that number. And
2 here.
Can you hear me, bro?
I got you. I was plugged into I'm Radar O'Reilly here. What do you got, brother?
That B-2 pilot was a crazy call, man. You might want to save that number and forward it over to NCIS.
It is it's a foreign number. It's a country code. Country code 36. Where is that? Somebody in the chat.
No idea, man. You may want to forward that over to NCIS because the only thing scarier than that being fake is if that was actually real, even though I highly, highly doubt it. Because if he has that kind of access and he's blabbing his mouth like that, man, someone needs to know. But I got good news for you, buddy.
What you got?
I'm a granddaddy now. I'm a granddaddy.
Good for you. Congratulations. Congratulations for being a grandfather.
Thank you. Austin Charles, 7 pounds, 5 ounces. We just missed the 704. Born at 1908 on July 4th. So I'm pretty pumped, man. But thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Good for you.
Everyone in the chat's been really cool too.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for calling. Congratulations.
Quick
sure, go ahead.
About Mitch McConnell. All right. What I'm hearing on the dark corners of the web is that they're trying to pull him over the August 3rd finish line so they don't have to do a special election. That way they keep Thomas Massey from trying to get Mitch McConnell's seat in the special election.
Well, right now I see Scott Jennings is just saying he spoke to Mitch McConnell this morning. I trust Scott Jennings.
Yep, that's what I heard, and he's catching a lot of flack for it. That's actually the tweet that you brought up about Thomas Massey. He was actually mocking Scott Jennings. He was mocking Scott Jennings.
Okay. That makes a little more sense. Okay, gotcha. Well, thanks for the call. Congratulations. What you got?
I wonder if I could shout something out real quick. If it's
Go
okay,
for it.
I've never done this on your show before. Well, I love doing political debating, so I have a YouTube channel that I'm trying to get off the ground, and I've never promoted it before. But
send me the link
so much. It's Plastic Cup Politics on YouTube. I do debates with a very, very good friend of mine, 30 years, and he's a complete TDS, Trump-hating liberal, progressive.
Have him come on the show.
What I want to do is I want to show people that two people can be friends for years, even though they disagree politically, and we get heated. I have a content up right now. We did a 2-hour debate on January 6th, right? Yes, Plastic Cup Politics, YouTube, and Twitter. I would appreciate it if everyone would check it out, and I'm going to try to get this channel off the ground because I love debating liberals.
You know, it is interesting to see them try to smear poop. Thank you for calling, brother. God bless you. Congratulations on being a grandfather. There you go. Had to go to these AirPods. I swear they disconnect all the time. We're hardwired now. There we go. Looked up country code 36 is Hungary. So maybe we had a Hungarian B-2 pilot advisor. There you go. I doubt it, but whatever. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. We got a lot of people watching on various platforms. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I did drop off my truck today to get a new engine. I don't know how many some of you might have seen that Ben just came here from Barry's feed. Thank you so much, Todd. Really nice of that. I really appreciate it. Me and Barry agree on a lot of things. I'll tell you that. Barry's a good dude. Let's go here. 448, line 2. What you got?
Hello, Ben.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, the difference between your show now and a year ago is like day and night.
I allow people like you.
I like the way you've, here in the last couple of weeks, it seems like you've done a lot more technical with the overlay behind.
I like
the backdrop and stuff like that.
I like it because
That's cool.
It keeps the information up. It's almost like providing a receipt. And I think there's a lot of channels that don't provide receipts. I think I'll tell you the one thing I wish, Brian. I wish more channels would interact with people like you, like my sub guy. I wish there was more direct voice interaction because it gives an opportunity.
They need to, because that way, you get the feel of everybody's opinion. You get a multitude of opinions and outlooks and the whole shit match. It just it's more meat to the table.
There's a lot of people I think that are afraid to be challenged or afraid to be questioned or afraid to be maybe not the word challenge. I don't think some people are prepared for just random questions. They have a script. They all use a teleprompter, and they're afraid to engage.
Most of them make their shows up, that during the day, it's all pre-recorded, preset. Everything's all set. They've got their clips in line, and it's all about what, is spewing out, just regurgitating what the other channels are saying.
There are a lot of channels, Brian, that I believe, and chat, maybe you'll agree with me or not. They all use the same 10 clips.
Right.
They all regurgitate.
They're just regurgitating.
They all
regurgitating everything that something else somebody else has said.
They all regurgitate the same talking points. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. The B-2 bombers. My dad was in the motor pool in Air Force. And he used to tell me whenever he'd take the pilots out to the B-52s back in the Cold War, at the bottom of the steps, he'd say cocked. That's the best thing about it. I'm cocked. Ready to go.
Well, thank you for calling, Brian. I really appreciate it. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, well,
thank you for the compliment, kind words. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Take care. There we go. Brian's used to be long-haul trucker. Used to be. Senate Republican leaders say they've spoken to Mitch McConnell. He remains hospitalized. I respect Scott Jennings enough that if Scott Jennings says he's alive, I'm going to say he's alive. You can read people's speech as they speak. What's that? Yeah, I do think Brian brought up a good point. There's a lot of channels that are so regimented. They're not prepared for a phone call from a B-2 bomber. They are not prepared for a little bit of pushback. I don't think there's a lot of people prepared for that. And I'm not saying that I'm the best at it, but you'll always know my opinion on things. That's what I'll say. Somebody says, nice old rebuilt Tech Windsor. I wish I could. I don't know if I can share the picture of the new engine that I got, but my new engine came in. I dropped off my old truck this morning. I don't know how redneck this is to take a picture of the engine of your truck, but I did. Let me see if I can pull this up here. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the engine photo. An that work? I don't know if yeah, here we go. Yeah. So here's the engine photo of this is my new engine. And ladies, I'm sorry to bore you with this. I showed it to my wife and she was like, but it's a 302 long block is what I've got that I put in my truck or replacing it. And so there you go. That's my new engine. It'll be it's getting done now is what I want to say. It's getting done now, and I'm gonna nerd out over it for a while. So there's the new engine for my truck. And if you haven't seen my old truck, here, let me see if I can pull this up too. It's a 75 Ford F100. It's a dent side. It's basically maybe like my fourth most favorite thing I own or that I have in my life. I'll try to pull this up here and share this. Let's go here, see if I can pull this up. But the current engine that I've got, it's got a bad cylinder. It would be a pain for me to rebuild it. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping the thing, but there you go. Here's my new truck. Or my old truck, sorry. There you go. So there you go. That's my old truck there. Let me get rid of that. How do I get back there? Yeah, there's my old truck. So that's kind of where we're at. With that being said, I think we have taken enough calls. We've talked to enough people that wanted to call in. It's getting late. I really appreciate y'all watching. You guys are the best. Hit the like and subscribe. Smash it on the way out the door.